Most people work incredibly hard for their money their entire lives, and yet they still struggle financially. They put in the hours, they earn the paycheck, but when the end of the month rolls around, the accounts are practically empty. It's crazy, right? But the truth is, almost nobody teaches us how to actually build a system for our wealth. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today we are drawing up the ultimate financial blueprint. We're going to transform that financial chaos into a totally clear step-by-step roadmap that takes you from plugging the tiny leaks in your wallet all the way to building massive long-term wealth. So let's sketch this out.
It is literally the most frustrating question in personal finance. Where does all my money actually go? Look, when you don't track your spending, your cash just seems to vanish into thin air. You absolutely know your big expenses, like your rent or your car payment. But honestly, it's the daily untracked purchases that act as invisible drains on your overall wealth. And the harsh reality from the Pennywise research is just staggering. It's usually not the big, scary bills that bankrupt us, it's those invisible expenses. That quick morning coffee, those online subscriptions you totally forgot about, the rapid takeout run, they easily add up to hundreds of dollars a month, quietly destroying your budget right from the inside out.
So here is the master blueprint we are drawing up in today's explainer. 1. Track your daily spending. 2. Pick your budgeting strategy. 3. Build your emergency shield. 4. Eliminate your costly debt. And finally, number 5, automate and invest for wealth.
All right, let's kick things off with step 1, tracking your daily spending, or as I like to call it, finding the leaks in your wallet.
Because, you simply cannot manage what you don't measure. According to PSEU, doing a personal finance audit is actually a really quick and painless process. First up, review your checking and savings accounts so you can see your actual cash cushion. Second, divide your bills into fixed and variable categories. A pro tip here, add up your variable bills from the last 12 months and divide by 12 to find your true monthly average. Third, check the exact progress on your student, auto, or personal loans. And fourth, pull your credit score from annualcreditreport.com. It's an absolutely essential indicator of your overall financial health.
And speaking of credit, here is a critical number to watch from kickoff: 30%. When you pull your report, look at your credit utilization. That's the percentage of available credit you are currently using. If you want to improve your credit score fast, you've got to keep this utilization below 30%. Honestly, get it below 10% and you'll see the absolute highest score gains.
Moving right along to step 2, picking your budgeting strategy. This is all about giving every single dollar a direction. Because knowing where your money goes is really only half the battle, right? Now you have to intentionally tell it where to go. The UNFCU recommends the classic 50-30-20 rule to balance out your net income. It works like this. 50% goes to absolute necessities like housing and groceries. 30% goes to discretionary fun and wants. And that remaining 20%, that is strictly locked in for savings, investments, and debt repayment. It's a fantastic big picture approach.
But hey, maybe you're someone who wants a bit more control. Enter zero-based budgeting. With this method, every single dollar is assigned a very specific job before the month even begins. Whether it's for your bills, groceries, or just having fun, your income minus your planned spending equals exactly 0. Now, you aren't literally broke, you've just given every dollar a highly specific mission. And regardless of the specific math you end up using, I really want you to adopt this mindset from Citizens Bank. Pay yourself first. Budgeting isn't about deprivation, it's actually a powerful tool for self-investment. The very first bill you pay every single month should be an automatic transfer straight into your own savings account. Pay yourself and then pay the world.
All right, step 3, build your emergency shield. We're talking about protecting against the totally unexpected.
We are now shifting from financial offense to financial defense. Look, life is going to throw storms at you. A massive medical bill, a surprise car repair, maybe even a sudden job loss. Experian outlines 4 incredibly practical steps to forge your shield. First, calculate those essential expenses. Second, don't get overwhelmed. Just set a highly attainable goal, like saving maybe $100 by the end of the month. Third, automate those savings so the money moves without you even thinking about it. And fourth, keep the funds liquid, like in a high-yield savings account, so you can actually access the cold, hard cash when an emergency hits.
You start small for sure, but keep your eyes locked on this ultimate target: 6 months. Your grand goal for an emergency shield is saving enough liquid cash to cover 6 full months of your basic living expenses. That right there is the ultimate financial safety net. Next up is step 4, eliminate your costly debt. It's time to break the chains of high interest. Because high interest consumer debt is a literal wealth destroyer. To break free from those chains, Wells Fargo gives us 2 incredibly powerful weapons. First up is the snowball method.
You list all your debts and pay off the smallest balances first. This builds massive psychological momentum. Alternatively, there's the avalanche method, where you pay off the debt with the highest interest rate first. This gives you the mathematical win by saving you the absolute most money on interest over time. So pick the weapon that motivates you the most and attack.
And while you are aggressively paying down that debt, Kickoff reminds us that we have to protect our credit profile. Be sure to automate your minimum payments so you literally never miss a due date. If you spot any errors on your credit report, dispute them immediately. Also, keep your old credit accounts open, even if you don't really use them anymore, because they preserve your credit age. And lastly, wisely diversify your credit mix. A strong credit score is a massive competitive advantage when you eventually need a mortgage or a big loan.
Which brings us to step 5, automate and invest for wealth. This is all about the undeniable power of compounding.
We have reached the summit of our blueprint. This is exactly where we harness the magic of compounding to build a fortune while you literally sleep. As Investicate points out, whether you have $100 or $10 million, education is the absolute key to taking charge of your financial future. You do not need to be some Wall Street insider to succeed. Just understanding how the market works gives you the power to control your own destiny, completely bypassing those super expensive money managers.
I absolutely love this piece of advice, referred to in our sources as Mark's tip. The single most important point to consider when investing is to have clear and reasonable objectives. Look, investing is not some get-rich-quick scheme. Making as much as you can, as fast as you can, is quite frankly a terrible strategy. A real solid objective is saying something like, I want to invest $500 a month at a 5% return for 10 years to fund college.
But to actually measure those objectives, you have to stop looking at raw dollar amounts and start focusing strictly on percentages. Think about it. If one stock goes up $5 and another goes up 50 cents, which one is better? Well, if the first was a $500 stock, that's only a 1% return. But if the second was a $10 stock, that's a 5% return. Tracking percentages is how you truly measure your compounding growth against market benchmarks over time.
Now, as outlined by Wealth Enhancement, your financial blueprint actually has to evolve as you age. In your 20s, your main priority is building habits. The biggest mistake is delaying your start. In your 30s, you want to maximize that employer match, but you really have to watch out for lifestyle inflation. In your 40s, it's all about diversifying your investments and keeping an eye on your taxes. And by your 50s, you're making those catch-up contributions while prepping for long-term health costs. This right here is your lifelong roadmap.
Which brings us to our final and honestly most important question. Out on Wall Street, fear and greed drive the markets up and down every single day. If you let those emotions drive your decisions, your portfolio is going to become a train wreck. So I have to ask you, are fear and greed driving your financial decisions, or are you going to rely on your new step-by-step blueprint? Track your spending, build your budget, raise your shield, crush your debt, and invest with patience. That is exactly how you win. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.